Welcome, or dare I even say welcome back if you're not new here. Today we're doing like a travel vlog type thing. I'm hesitant to call it a travel vlog because like who do I think I am vlogging, but there's no better word for this. It's a vlog. I went to London for like a week in June and had a really great time, and I did a lot of sketching in various places and took a lot of photos and footage, and I wanted an excuse to put it all together and feel like I wasn't just filling up space on my iCloud for no reason. So it's a travel vlog, I guess. I wanted to start this video by finishing up some of my life sketches that I did on site there. I am not good at plein air. I'm sure I've mentioned this in videos before. It's really a la prima painting, plein air painting, any of that just like sit down and 2 hours later have a finished piece thing is not for me. I really struggle with it because I am not good at plein air painting, and also because I come from a family of people who like to just zip from one tourist spot to the next whenever they're on vacation. I didn't get a ton of time to actually sit and paint pieces to completion, or anywhere close to completion actually, during my time there. So I wanted to take this time as like a warm-up for my video and finish some of the sketches that I started while I was in London. So this first sketch is from when I visited Holland Park on my first day there. This is the Japanese gardens, I believe, in Holland Park, and they were so pretty. I miss living in a city with like a park. LA's great because I'm by the beach all the time and that's awesome, but coming from Boston and having like the Victory Gardens and Boston Common and just all of these nice public park spaces around me all the time that I could go to, LA has a different energy to their parks a little bit. Like there's Griffith Park, but that's so far away from me. The roundabout of that is that I really liked Holland Park. It was nice to sit and be out in nature, and I love a water feature. Ugh, it's such a good water feature. So I decided to paint it. I started in sketching it out just in pencil, and then I went in with highlighters to give my base. This is something I love doing when I'm painting with gouache or like any sort of mixed media, is just starting out with highlighters to get the basic color vibrancies in, and that just gives it a nice pop. I also have these nice watercolor brush pens. I don't know if they're like actually watercolor brush pens. They do water activate kind of, which is nice. I get to blend them like a little bit. And they are brush tip, which I love. Not like felt tip brush tip, like so many. I kind of use those to lay in another layer of color, and then I go over in gouache and then detail in with like colored pencil, maybe a little gouache highlights here and there if I'm feeling fancy. But yeah, there were just a lot of nice greens in this one that I wanted to capture. And here it is, captured. The final piece. Ta-da! The next day we went to Kensington Palace, where we saw the super bloom, which was so gorgeous. It's literally the queen turned 120 or something crazy like that, and they covered the entire city of London in wildflowers, which I was obsessed with. My little cottagecore heart just beating away at that. So I took a lot of nice photos and videos of the flowers, and I wanted to do some studies, but again, because I'm slow and my family is fast, I didn't really have a lot of time to just stand and make really nice, beautiful flower paintings, so just took videos. But we strolled through Kensington Palace and Kensington Gardens and down towards Albert Hall, which is located in what I recently learned is a part of London called Albertropolis, which I think is so fun. But that's where Royal Albert Hall is, and it's this big old concert hall. It looks, I don't know, kind of like a Roman Colosseum, if you ask me, a little bit, like if you put a lid on one. I've never been inside, but I know it's gorgeous in there, and I don't know, I think it's a unique building shape that you don't see a lot. London has a lot of fun, kind of unique architecture, and I don't know, when you look at cities like New York that have just kind of torn down and built over all of their architectural history, I think London's really fun in the sense that they've kept a lot of their old buildings and kind of just renovated them. So, you know, I appreciate that. Added the little red bus in there, because you gotta add the little red bus. Otherwise, how are people gonna know you're in London? Duh. This one was the same process. It was kind of, I started with highlighter. This one I actually went in with watercolor on site, but I, again, didn't get to finish. So I'm finishing it up with some gouache highlights here and there, a little more watercolor, more of these brush pens that I like so much, and also colored pencil for some detailing. Colored pencil over gouache lately, you guys, I'm loving it. It's so fun. Just thrilling for me all alone in my apartment, that colored pencil over gouaches. This part felt very like, I don't know what that genre of illustration's called, where it's people with just like one Tombow marker and one Prismacolor pencil and like one micron pen, and they just do like really loose, scribbly vibes. And I don't know. I like it. It's fun. It's not me per se, but when I put that little green patch on, I was like, oh, this looks like that. And of course, the sky. We can't forget the sky. Gotta do a little blue gradient on there. Never misses. And there she is. There's Royal Albert Hall of Albertropolis, London. Video. I'm gonna do like a little sketchbook, journal, scrapbook type vibe with me thing is what this part is. I hoard so much trash on vacation, like wrappers or, I don't know, ticket stubs. I know that's a big one that people like to scrapbook, menus, napkins, whatever. I kind of sorted through all my scraps and found some stuff that I thought went together. This is a wrapper from a chicken restaurant that I went to called Butchie's. They had a pretty bitchin' chicken sandwich, actually. The Brits kind of don't have taste buds, so I was impressed. That's not true, that's mean. I had a lot of very good food in London. It just wasn't of the British culture. But I thought it was a fun wrapping paper. It matched my outfit that I was wearing that day, so I was like, oh, well, I'll take this, and I ideated this essentially as I was eating my chicken sandwich. I was like, oh, this will be a fun spread to do. So I had it in mind initially, but we're gonna sit down and actually execute it. Glued in some wrapping paper. I went in with those watercolor brush pens again, kind of laid down like a rough sketch of my meal that I had. Delicious. Usually when I do a page, I like to kind of have a color theme going. This one's obviously going to be red and white because it was the red and white from the paper, and as you'll see later, I paint a selfie that I took from that day of the outfit I was wearing because it was also red and white. I thought it would work well. Anyway, the theme of this one was kind of be like red and white with green accents. I usually like to pick two sort of main colors and then throw in like an accent color here and there, kind of spice it up. So red and white were my main colors for this, and then green, and then like a lime green, and then later sort of like a lavendery purple color ended up being my main accent colors. My main colors and then my accent colors. But yeah, these pages are all very kind of just sort of intuitive for me. Sometimes I'll sketch them out, but when I do them in one sitting, well, close-ish to one sitting like this one, I kind of just freestyle it a little bit more. Normally these spreads in my sketchbook I'll kind of pop in and out of over the course of a week or like a month or sometimes even a few months depending on where I'm at. But this one for a video I kind of sat down and did it in a few sittings, which felt really nice. I hate to say it, feels good to sit down and finish a thing at the end of sitting down. It's very rare for me. We went to Harrods at one point and I got a bunch of cologne samples from the guy working the Acqua di Gio cologne table, which was very nice of him. So I wanted to tape one of those in there because they smelled like lemons, and why not? I thought it was a fun silhouette. So boring when they give you perfume samples on just like the little strips of paper. I like when it's like a nice thick card to sniff. So here's the bones of it finished, more or less. This is, I have all my major elements laid down on the page. But now is the fun part that I like to call embellishing the page. And this is where I just put stupid little stickers and I like outline random things or just like add little whatnots here and there just to fill up space. I just don't like having a lot of blank space left over on a page. Feels, I don't know. I just never learned how to do composition well, and as a result, if I fill all of the space, I don't have to worry about placing things in space dynamically. I also do think that this helps with the cohesion of the page in general. If you've got like one area that's just a bunch of one color, you can kind of break it up by like bringing another color into it a little bit and creating that visual balance and harmony. Visual rhythm is what it's called across the page. But yeah, here's the finished thing, a full-on spread from a day in my life in London. I hope this wasn't too terribly self-indulgent. But yeah, if you dug it, you can like it, you could subscribe even, you could even tell a friend about it if you feel so inclined. No pressure. I will see you next time.